Interesting. This distorted mythic shear is an ally? Ooh, a thing. Okay.
Should we proceed?
Yes. That's why. A figure in a loose, hooded robe stands facing away from you, hands raised in the air. I have given you the gift of strength. Arise and fight in the name of Descari, of Baphomet, of whomever you please. I command you, defend my laboratory. Fools, feckless morons. I'm surrounded by idiots. What have I done to deserve this? What crime have I committed that the universe would punish me so? Says the guy made up of locusts, performing experiments on demons to make them more powerful. Yeah, I wonder. He shouts and calls them names and thinks that will make them listen to him. I don't like this one. He reminds me of the bladesmith who tortured me. He was an arrogant swine too, but he never berated and yelled at folk. No, he spoke so softly, so deliberately, every word dripping with venom. Let's just see how things play out. The figure lowers its hands. What? This... We... What? We said nothing, but... This response makes no sense. In fact, it doesn't make sense that it's a response. I would have gladly done it myself, but then I would have had to supervise the accursed idiots. I said nothing to trigger this response. The figure in the hooded robe slowly turns around. His face and hands are a writhing mass of locusts. If you listen closely, you can hear the rhythmic rasping of little feet and wings rubbing against each other. I despise my idiot students who cannot even take a single step without an order from me. Despise demons, self-satisfied imbeciles who prefer to tear hunks of flesh from each other than carry out my instructions. I despise Descari and Baphomet for forcing me to work with them. The jittering of the locusts grows louder, sounding threatening. I despise you, Vandal. You came into my laboratory, smashing up my specimens and interfering with my work. Away with you. Get out now.
Close ranks.
So these two are just sort of here, but if we end up hitting them, that's just more trouble for us. Thankfully, since we're flat-footed this round, there's no real reason for us to do anything or go anywhere. So I won't. That's one mirror image down. Let's see what there is to see about Xanthir Vang. Freedom of movement, Fox's cunning, mage armor, blur. He's got shield. Permanent mirror image. How is this okay? It doesn't even make any sense as a concept. Permanent mirror image. It's got frightful aspect. He can't be paralyzed and tangled because he's a mass of locusts. Makes sense. I want him to come to us so that well, these idiots don't get involved in the fight. I'm perfectly happy to just let them sit here forever, doing nothing, So he's got flat 15 damage reduction against everything, and then everything 10 more against everything but magic. Also, what is his health? 500? Oh. He's only got an armor class of 29, but he does have the permanent mirror image, so there is that to be concerned about. Do we really want to waste it? Curiously, it did not say he could not be put to sleep, but he is immune to crits. I think we'll spend this turn doing this instead. Good, these two are, well, these other demons are just wandering away. I'm worried that if I cast Order of the God Claw, the demons will be pulled into the fight. So I'm just going to not right now. His armor class isn't high enough to be much of a concern, but I am worried about a possible second phase to this fight. Or this guy running away. I also want him focused on the treants, so we're not going to move Ivu in just yet. I also don't want everyone lumped together. That's dangerous. Just permanent mirror image. That seems perfectly fair. Then again, we are getting powers out the wazoo out of who knows where, so balanced. Like everything should be.
You won't survive me.
Nice. Even further away. I actually want to be on this guy's other side in case he decides to look at us funny. They're immune to cold. He also cast, I guess he had an ability for invisibility. Or vanish. Nope. Greater invisibility, so he can still attack while invisible. But Ember's got us covered on that end. I'm trying to, like, select these guys, but... Okay. I don't know what elemental spells he might use. So I'm going to go ahead and instead summon this Monavik Deva. I particularly want Lan affected by it, but... Well, I could delay, so that's what we'll do. They don't care about your invisibility, buddy. That is embarrassing. Now, what if I were to tell you it's only going to get so much worse? Oh, wait, we need her to do this. Right, she is slowed. That's where that other freedom of movement needed to go. I see my mistake now. That is unfortunate. The spell was not prepared. What's his willpower, by the way? Oh, that is... Wait. Is he immune to... No. He could be put to sleep. Then again, we could also just do this. Yeah, right there is perfect. Well, that's gotta be... That's a little... No one should be missing from concealment if he's been hit with glitter dust. And he rolled a 1, so he should have been... Yeah, he's definitely blinded. Weird.
Kneel before me.
Now we get the Monavik Deva in there. I want him here so that it affects Ivu as well. Beautiful. Quite literally could not have gone better than that. Are they missing due to blur rather than invisibility? Pretty sure that would be it.
Endure this.
Yeah. Land's pretty gross.
Defeat is not an option.
¿Por qué? Well, we're not wasting spell slots on these guys. We're just not. There's also a mass of flies near us. Locusts, my mistake. I'll let the spellcasters deal with them.
This one's mine.
Good God. much less worried about the demons than the goddamn locusts.
Into the fray.
I don't like that. Good news, though, they are coming to us, so... Dang it. That's right, the stupid... distorted Babao is going to be getting back up. They have 153. God, I need Fireball. I could use... I'd have to send her backwards. Stop. Ooh, that almost cost me her turn because I forgot about that.
Make every strike count.
Interesting. Hey, now that's useful. Dang, they still have spell resistance, and I don't believe Mara will be able to get through it. I could try to hit with Snowball, which would deal damage in an area. Well, to everything in the area.
Attack!
I don't understand why it's immune to Lightning Lord. There's no cause for that. Yeah, there's nothing here for it to be immune to Lightning Lord. But I guess it's just a demon immunity that for some reason someone forgot to add to the list. I genuinely didn't expect that to hit. He needs to cast freedom of movement on her. And then get out of there. We're going to delay his turn until after this guy gets up. This is going to be annoying. She doesn't have any AoE spells that deal damage.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
There it is.
Retreat is not an option.
Yeah. It definitely is not. Controlled fireball. Need to keep all of the lines of sight right here. There's nothing much land can actually do here. I mean, I still have him do it, but... Well, Ivu's got things to do, so... Do we move her here? Had to be done. I don't want to be here forever. They're evil. But they also have spell resistance, so he won't be able to do anything. Best not to bother. Oh, right. That must be Morrow's. The only reason that treant did any damage is because of the holy buff that's been applied to it. Let me show you. See? It normally does bludgeoning damage, but since the swarm is immune, all that it managed to do was the holy damage from whatever it is Morrow is wearing that gives him the ability to grant them that damage. Speaking of which, his... where is it? His other summon should, if I could find it, Locust Swarm, there it is. Monavik Deva's in sort of inside of, anyway. The Monavik Deva can attack and do damage to these things. Of course, his main damage type won't have any effect, but that's not really relevant. Huh. I know what that does.
The light
That's better.
Kneel before me.
That's pretty effective. Ooh, Bismuth is about to die. I think we're fine now. I had him cast Freedom of Movement, did I not? Weird.
You won't survive me.
Great. Let's get you out here so we can target you properly. I was talking about the targeting the locust swarm that's in here. I want to lure it outside so we can use... Interesting. For some reason, out of everyone that it passed through, it only actually hurt the Monavik Deva. Yeah, that's pretty good. One more elemental spell for the Gipper? Or do we just use this? It's... Oh no, that's... Yeah, that's perfectly fine. May as well just have him wait. Unfortunately, I did have to use spell slots because locust swarms. Oh, For some reason, he didn't cast the freedom of movement. Now he has.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Something. What? He's got less health than before, less armor class. Probably because he's flat-footed. He also doesn't have his damage reduction excluding everything but magic. I don't think we need to use anything on him. Unless he transforms into a shambling mound. That's what that's called. Too bad for him. That just makes him easier to kill. Wow, he's stupid.
Make every strike count.
And just so we're clear, land doesn't just do 6 hits or 7 with his key power. Every time he lands 3 hits, he deals an extra. I don't remember what the range is. He deals extra damage. And he can attack 6 to 7 times. So if he can hit every single time, that is so much damage. Even though the extra damage that the 3 hits can grant isn't really high, it's still it's more damage.
Press the attack.
And so he did. I don't think this will work on him. But this will. Defeated. Who's out there drops to his knees. For a few drawn-out seconds, all you can hear is the rustling of the locusts shifting under his robe. The sound suddenly morphing into rasping, unnatural laughter. Who could have predicted that a vandal, my enemy and the enemy of my masters, would be the one to rid me of my excruciating servitude? You are an unforeseen, unknown quantity that has solved the impossible equation. Such an elegantly simple solution to all my problems. The eerie laughter dies away as quickly as it came. Xanther lifts his head and looks out at you from his locust swarm face. You have earned a reward. I know why you are here and what you seek. You destroyed my laboratory, stood in the way of science, and halted my demon transformation experiments. But I doubt you know the source of the Nahindrian. It has to be Nahindrian. But I doubt you know the source of the Nahindrian crystals necessary for the process. I will show you the path to the truth, Vandal. But first, you must answer 2 of my questions. Why are you so sure that I don't have the information already? Doubting my intellect is a foolish move. If you already knew the truth, you would have If you already knew the truth, you would have directed your efforts to destroying my supply routes, not breaking into my laboratory. The defeated foe lectures the victor on reliable strategies for warfare. Typical. This worthy sir is living out the final moments of his life. He wishes to feel clever and astute in this moment. You can show a little basic compassion for the man, Paralictor. Comfort him. Perhaps even embrace him. We're going to kill him at the end of it all, either way. Is there any specific practical purpose to your attempts at flippancy? Why, of course. I consider my chats with you to be an act of charity, Rachel. I infuriate you. You receive a surge of emotions and your bleaching is slightly slowed. See? Quite specific and practical, and the bleaching itself was never actually mentioned before, but I'm actually quite curious about this. So, the bleaching is the name given to the physical decolorization and aging of a gnome, and is caused by a lack of exposure to new and exciting experiences. This bleaching of color is accompanied by a psychological decline, first into depression and apathy, and eventually into madness and death. Gnomes' efforts to fend off the bleaching only serve to fuel their racial curiosity and whimsy, giving them a somewhat manic edge. Some claim that the bleaching is a result of the gnomes leaving the first world thousands of years ago. The few gnomes who survived the bleaching develop enigmatic wisdom and a connection to the natural world, earning them the name Bleachlings. Wow, that is awful. Go ahead, ask your questions. Name the location. Name the location of my laboratory before I was forced to relocate to the inhospitable Ivory Sanctum. If I knew this, I don't... It couldn't have been Canabras. Dresden is possible, but I suspect it's eyes. For a while, Xanthar says nothing, seeming to be carefully choosing his words. Stupidity and ignorance are at the very top of your list of failings. I'm ashamed to have been defeated by such a weak-minded creature. I will simply give you the answer, but do not feel any sense of pride that you obtained it so easily. I hope you have the wits enough to realize that it is no cause for pride, but for endless shame. Know this, I have been acquiring the Nahedrian crystals from the Midnight Fane, a shrine located deep under Dresden. Xanthar steels himself and slowly stands. What is it like to realize that the enemy has all this time been concealed in the bowels of their very own fortress? Don't bother answering, it was a rhetorical question. Now, let us finish this vandal, end my existence, and free me from the burden of carrying out the orders of idiot masters and defending my eyes with the sight of their feckless followers. Midnight Fane. What is it and how have the demons managed to hide it from me? Your naivete is worth lingering in this world. A surprising and comprehensible phenomenon. I regret that I will not be able to study it under laboratory conditions. Chittering laughter emerges from beneath Xanthar's hood. Deep below Dresden, where the power of the Sword of Valor cannot reach, there is a place where the abyss and the material plane meet. It is where Lady Virelli opened one of her rifts, creating a direct route to the abyss. That is where the Nahedrian crystals are coming from. The rift leads to... well, I suppose I don't want to spoil the surprise, Vandal. You do so love surprises, after all. Ooh. This guy's voice is... draining. And really rough on my throat. Well, if they had attacked Dresden, even if they did have access, that would give up the fact that that location even exists, which seems, which would seem unwise, be unwise, in fact. What are Nahindrian crystals? Special keys that can, with the proper handling and after a tedious ritual, awaken mythic powers in a demon. The process was discovered and developed by the great Virelli, my mentor. She calls it transformation. Those that have undergone it are called mythic demons, for their powers truly deserve to be glorified in myth. Are you really that eager to die? Why should I even answer your questions? Why stave off my final transition into blissful oblivion? Xanther cocks his head to one side. I will answer you, but only out of my own curiosity. I want to see what intrigues a lowly creature such as yourself. Have you seen my underlings, my so-called students? What, I ask you, can they hope to learn from me? Buffoons, that's what they are. A pathetic parody of scholarly devotion. They hear my words, but they do not understand them. Mindless fanatics and cultists, idiots besieging me with their endless questions. Killing them is pointless. I cannot banish them or use them as test subjects, because as soon as one dies, two more sprout in their place. Xanther's voice is drowned out by the loCuStS' furious cheering. Churring? Has to be churring, right? Probably. And the demons I'm forced to work with? They're unable to fulfill even the simplest of instructions. All their tiny mind can think about is how to chew one another to pieces. Darazan, Menago, Jerebeth, they all started plotting against me as soon as I took up my post. How am I to work under these conditions? I'm surrounded by utter morons. My only ambition has been to study the sciences, to discover secret truths, but instead, I've been obliged to manage a herd of brainless animals. I have found myself at a dead end. I cannot abandon everything and leave. I will only be exchanging life in this unbearable place for life among nameless ruins, constantly aware that my former masters could find me an exact retribution. I could hardly continue my work without my laboratory. Xanther grows quiet for a moment. You have given me a way out, Vandal. A place where only peace awaits me, where I will have no students or masters. Death. I am tired. Who are you, Xanther Vang? Xanther makes a sound that is not unlike a sigh. I am a higher being. I surpassed my mortal shell, discarded it, transformed myself like a larva becoming a locust. My loyal service to the dark arts has not gone unrewarded. Lords Baphomet and Daskari both gave me their consideration. I earned respect on this side of the world wound, and the only person whose respect I have not won is my mentor, Virelli. That is all that is permissible for you to know. I want to know more. How did you achieve this state?
That is quite a discovery.
What the frick? It sounded like I heard a chime in this area somewhere. I won't be telling you anything. I did not spend years conducting research, carrying out experiments, and studying forbidden texts just to give it all away to some vandal. The sacrifices I've made, the impossible truths my mind has had to encompass. Daskari's philosophy, Baphomet's sophistry, Aresh Kagal's riddles, the nebulous ravings of lesser-known demons such as Isyagna, You have probably never even heard these names before. It's enough that you managed to get your hands on my notes. They say there's no king's road to knowledge, but for vandals there isn't so much as a dirt track. If you want to achieve what I have, then follow the path I had to take. Every single step. Sela frowns. What's with all the questions? We already know enough about this freak to destroy him once and for all. The best thing for everyone is if the knowledge of how he came to be like that dies with him. Well, I am nothing if not curious. What's it like being a swarm? It's impossible to explain to someone who has not made the same exalted journey. Endless bliss, endless splendor, endless solitude. Among the lower creatures, there is no one who can understand me now. What do you know about Aurelu Vorlesh? She is my mentor, although she has never given me the slightest recognition. It was she who invented the method for transforming demons using the Nihedrian crystals. Admiration, envy, and hurt all vie for dominance in Xanthir's voice. She is the best of all humans and demons, a true scientist, pioneer, architect of the world wound. It is ironic that both of the Abyss's finest scientific minds were once mortals, isn't it? What can you tell me about Jarabeth? A troublesome gnat who thinks herself the queen of this dung heap. She hates me for usurping her in the sanctum, but she doesn't dare go against the orders of Baphomet and his daughter Hepzamira. Jarabeth is a known quantity, and a negligible one at that. Ooh, I do need more evil. You may be interested to learn that Jarabeth has given me her mark. The swarm you are composed of will fall under her thrall as soon as you release your hold on it. Thank you for telling me. This information changes things greatly. Unfortunately for you, my capitulation is now moot. I have no desire to spend eternity serving the whims of that irritating gnat. The rasping chittering of the locust grows furious as Xanthir raises his arms again.
Crusading isn't that boring after all.
Interesting. He's larger than he was before. He's back up to 500 HP. I actually do need to swap her weapon out. This one has the blessing on it. Unless the blessing disappears once you actually...
Into the fray.
Great. More locust swarms. We needed that.
Retreat is not an option.
But I also don't want Jarabeth to have his locust swarm. And I also needed the evil... More evil alignment, so... Yeah. Right. Full round action. Also this... Yep, there they are. They finally entered the fight.
which is extremely annoying. Just give them to me. Give me your swarm. But first, right, guess I could spend this turn moving him forward. Pretty good. I've got nothing. That's right. All of you just settle in one place so I can firebomb you. How many times does that one fire spell bounce, by the way? I want to get Ember bolster for her spells, but then that's just another drain on that spell tier. Anyway, first things first, we smack Xanthier. What's his armor class? 29? Why not?
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Miss due to concealment. Blur is just a flat 20% chance to miss and can't be prevented with fairy fire or whatever that glitter dust, that's what it is. Thankfully they're all concentrating. Oh yeah, that's what we like to see. They're all in this area right here. I'm actually going to move her here. Dang. The damage was lower than I was hoping for, but what can you do?
Kneel before me.
Jeez. But it would have to hit, wouldn't it? I don't believe that it would. Instead, but they have no resistance against acid. Good to know. Very, very good to know. That's not going to help you. They're not going to be able to do anything this turn. You've wasted your turn.
You've crossed the wrong mountain.
Achievement unlocked. Capitulation is now moot. Okay. Burning Arc. I don't think we will. Only Morrow's Treant is actually going to be able to do any damage. Nah, I don't think so. They also have fast healing. Did we really finish that before the Monavik Deva even got a chance to act? She's got to switch weapons again. Great. Now, which is the lowest in health? You.
The light take you.
Yeah, so it's the acid damage. I can't put the good effect on her weapon, I don't think. We'll have to wait. There's also another swarm over here, which is apparently not even in combat, interesting enough.
This one's mine.
Yes. Why is the Monavik Deva just... Is he still nauseated? Yeah. Yeah, he is. I don't think Morrow... Actually, he can't he? Nope. Well, there's just too much for Darren to do on his own turn.
You won't survive me.
Good. Can't complain with results. What did I need Darren to do again? I could have him remove nauseated from this guy, but that seems like a waste of everyone's time. Could put good on Seela's weapon. Someday, that is. Wow, they're just having really bad luck, aren't they?
Into the flame.
Oh, good. See, one, two, but there are three of them. I don't see the. There are two locust swarms on top of one another. That's one down. Yep. Regil being useful as always. Small key. This small polished key looks almost new. It hasn't seen much use. Old Grimoire. This old Grimoire grants its owner 3 slots for level 1 spells, 2 slots for... That is written really strangely. 2 slots for 2 level spells? I'm assuming they mean 2nd level spells. Ooh, but that's interesting. And 2 slots for 3... Oh, no. It's not that good after all. Whew. Okay. So this video is basically about 2 hours now. Which wouldn't have been the case if it weren't for the fricking locust swarms, because those are always fun to deal with. Right, Babals never have anything worthwhile. Ooh, right.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
Great. An exotic weapon no one can use. The guy's notes. That's what we revealed when we asked him about how he came to be the way he is. I should say. Just pick it up. It's not that hard. I think I'm actually going to want to read that.
No reason to pause.
No perception checks or anything. Whoa, that was... He was wearing a headgear that gives +6 intel. Ooh. Nice. We were only on the others. Really? Really? Making sure we didn't miss any perception checks. The only one who can do the lower nature check is Lan.
The mongrel did it.
And he did it. A magic sarcophagus with a tight-fitting lid. The locust creature can sleep inside it, unafraid that the swarm will disperse. Okay. That is a reasonable concern. The frick? And this connects directly with Jerobeth's room, huh?
Godspeed.
It'd be a shame if Jerobeth had to die. A real shame. Horrible shame. I saw one of the treants go back. You discovered Jerobeth engrossed in a task. She is holding a locust between two delicate clawed fingers, one of the locusts that previously comprised Xanthir Vang. And you watch as she slowly pushes a needle into its body. The demon observes the locust's convulsions with fascination. This will require a lot of work. A lot of work to preserve this beauty. Greetings, Crusader. Have you finished your business in the Ivory Sanctum? If so, I am happy to answer your questions now. One of the Baphomet cultists ran from me, Zenedra. Do you know where I can find her? Oh! I actually know where I can find her. Yeah. Yeah, I know where I can find her, but I'll ask just the same. Zenedra is a crafty and shrewd liar. She has a hideout right under your nose, not far from Dresden. Search the temples of your good deities, search them carefully. One of them is larger than it looks. Tell me everything you know about the Hydrine crystals and the ritual that is being used to enhance the demons. Oh, I can tell you a lot about that. I've gone through the ritual myself. When I return to the Abyss, I will destroy the memory, that feeling of incredible helplessness and pain. Okay, so, we've got a bit of an issue here. Apparently I've lost every single save since we first started the video. Which means if I can't get them back, then I'm going to have to go through all of that over again. And I spent 2 hours doing that, which means I'm going to be very unhappy and very bored. So very bored. I waited 5 minutes, but for whatever reason, despite the fact that my connection was about as fine as it could be, given how bad it's been lately and just in general, I waited. This is where we're going to have to end the video. It is past 2 hours, and I typically split these videos up once they've hit 2 hours. I don't know if I'm going to do it for this one. Most likely, since it's just less work for me in the long run, I basically get 2 videos for free. So that means I only have to record 1 video tomorrow. And that means I get to do all of the other inane stuff that I do with my free time as a result. Regardless, I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. We will be back tomorrow, whatever that may end up being for you, with another episode. And hopefully, that episode will have us caught up and back standing before Jerabeth, ready to ask her the hard-hitting questions. And so with all that said, we will see you. We'll see you next time.
You